It's that time of the week again. It's time for another Q&A with us, British Fist.
Gotcha!
This is the 113th Q&A we've ever done. Some people say the number 13 is unlucky, but I don't give a shit. We're going to do this Q&A anyway. Barcode 674. Do you think TNA will ever get any respect from fans / the IWC? It seems to me like most people on the internet hate everything that TNA does when they talk about the company, and then sometimes WWE does exactly the same thing and they praise the heck out of it. I've just become a true TNA fan this year, and I don't think it's really that bad of a company. I think you have a point. I mean, generally, I think it was because of the Russo booking era in 2010 and 11 that people just really didn't give the respect to TNA all that much. I mean, we are pretty fair when it comes to TNA. So I don't think you could lump us into the people that really shit on it. But if they do something bad, we'll call it out on it. If they do something good, we will praise it. That's just the way it should be. It's a shame.
The way I see it is that there was a period of time where TNA and WWE copied each other's storylines and they were both bad as each other. But I think, yes, you've made a point that they would praise the WWE and give hope.
Like RVD.
Yeah, there's like the Psycho storyline, relationship storyline.
If Sting went to WWE, imagine how great he would be in WWE.
Very true. But the thing is, I think with TNA, the fact that it was bad for quite a long period of time, and the fact that you see them grabbing the WWE wrestlers, they're going to get bashed. But at the same time, fans, WWE are not doing that great, so why don't you do the same thing to them?
I just think fans should give. I mean, I'm one of the biggest advocates of TNA over WWE, trust me, but I think fans really just need to give TNA a bit more of a chance and actually praise something when they do something well, rather than just going and bashing it, even though we're not saying we don't do that, I'm just saying. Eric DX Fan 511. Do both of you view Stone Cold's heel turn back in 2001 as a flop? Do you think it would have been more effective if Brock and Austin just had a regular match? If it was just a regular match, do you believe that the match would have been held in high regard, or do you think it would have slightly lessened the impact Mania 17 had? Well, I never liked Austin's heel turn back in 2001. It was just such a terrible character change for Austin, and it would have. I mean, Austin and Rock as a main event match, as a no DQ match, was fine because it was a big match at WrestleMania. That was fine. And if Austin hadn't have turned heel, it wouldn't have had as much of an effect in my opinion. It had a big impact on the business. Some people may see it as negative. Austin's heel turn was like a big talking point. If they just had a regular match, maybe it wouldn't have been all that memorable.
Well, I think with the heel turn, as much as people could bring up the negatives of it, it's like I keep saying, the WWE, WWF will change the characters to see how they work and to do something different to Austin the Rock, the no DQ, Austin as a heel. It did something different to the match, so I say nothing wrong with it.
Considering how personal their feud was and how WWE has seen written off TV to deal with his personal injury, do both of you believe that WWE should have made the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 24 just between Orton and Cena, with Triple H completely taken out of the mix? I believe they should have done. Triple H seems so out of place, and I don't like how they switched gears and made it about Triple H and Orton afterwards. WWE really dropped the ball on the Orton-Cena rivalry, in my opinion. I mean, at the time, Orton and Cena were probably two of the biggest stars in the business, and they never had a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. That kind of says all you need to know about that.
Well, as much as Triple H doesn't like to miss WrestleManias, I think with Cena and Orton, yes, it's not going to be compared to other two big names going at each other, but for that time, it was given to a reason to happen.
Yeah, we just saw it like twice at SummerSlam, and then we saw the match way too many fucking times afterwards, and you never know, we might even see it later this year now Orton has Money in the Bank. Do you believe it was more so the timing of Ryback's push that ruined him rather than him being pushed early? It was pretty stupid of WWE to push an undefeated monster like Ryback so close to Punk's match with The Rock at the Royal Rumble. I mean, really, ideally, you'd have Ryback go through mid-card talent, then through upper mid-card, then go after the main event and win a big match at maybe WrestleMania 30. But the timing of the push was quite bad because you had The Rock lined up for CM Punk, which means you had to make Ryback lose to CM Punk and then Ryback lose again, and then you had to bring the Shield in and make Ryback lose to the Shield. I think the timing of this push was quite off. It really was. And it's led to what he is now, which is just a heel I just don't see what they're doing anything with.
That could be Vince McMahon's fault, but I've not been behind Ryback. And when they put him through loads of local wrestlers, some WWE jobbers, and then they skip past the Miz feud to put him into the main event, none of this was believable for me. Then they went through a base when he lost every match. Heel turn didn't work. So the whole Ryback thing, I think it's going to be quite difficult to get us to like and believe in him. So there could be numerous reasons why Ryback is where he is.
Rocker 2525252525. Will WWE ever be good anymore? I don't mean the actually good. I mean fun to watch on a weekly basis. Who knows? I think it'll get fun to watch once they change their presentation a little bit and try and make it a bit more impactful to adults such as ourselves. But who really knows if WWE is going to be good anymore?
There's been times where Raw hasn't been that bad, hence what I feel and what the commenters feel when the Raw's over. But I think right now, the fact that the WWE have their eyes more on the main event scene than the other scenes which used to bring in entertainment and stuff, I think till they start doing things either the old way or differently, no.
I think did I not pick the best time to stop watching Raw? Just apparently people have been telling me it's really good and I need to start watching it again, but I really don't want to. 1480 Dave Gilliam. What is the issue regarding Mason Ryan? There's a couple of issues regarding Mason Ryan. Number one is the fact that he doesn't really have that much personality. His mic skills really aren't there. He has the WWE look, which he's got going for him, but it just seems like whatever WWE are going to give this guy, it doesn't really feel like he's going to actually run with it, in my opinion.
The best thing to do with this, yes, there's been rumours of him coming back to a tag team, but I think he'd do a great role as like an old Batista. Be at someone's ringside and just do an attack, be there, like Langston kind of is. I think that'd be the best thing for Mason Ryan.
The best thing for Mason Ryan would probably be a bodyguard. I definitely feel that way. 2-5 Kid. Why aren't there any British WWE World Heavyweight Champions? Probably because the WWE haven't really pushed. I mean, Drew McIntyre, Wade Barrett, William Regal. You know, British Bulldog never became a WWE champion or World Heavyweight champion. So I don't know. Maybe WWE just have a thing against British people being their top guy. Vince McMahon, you know, he wants, you know, he has his idea of a certain top guy in his company.
I think with like some of them, it was people have been begging for it to happen, want to see it happen, but it's not happened. I think Barrett is an example of someone who, and Regal are two that should have happened. People wanted to see it at some point, and maybe it will happen in the future. But yes, the Vince hasn't gave them that opportunity.
What are your favourite championship designs? I love the old new IC belt that they've got brought in, and I always like the Winged Eagle WWE Championship as well. I thought that was a good design.
My two, as you've named two, will be the World Heavyweight. I know it's just a gold plate, but wow, it's pure gold. And the second one would be the new Tag Team Championships. Next.
You mean the ones that look like 1p's?
Yes.
Which is the lowest form of money here in the UK.
Yep, that's it.
I meant 2p's, not 1p's. Yeah, okay. Is that another John Cena putting people over cleanly moment in our Q&A? Will Ricardo Rodriguez ever wrestle full, if so, heel or face character? He'll be a great face character, a great sort of comedy, sort of like a Joseph Park kind of face character. Will he ever wrestle? I mean, I think Ricardo Rodriguez is essential to that Del Rio character, so I don't think we'll ever see him wrestle like himself in a feud of any kind.
The thing is, they skipped past they did it temporarily, but not as a long-term thing against Santino, which would have been perfect if it actually became a jobberish thing, just for the entertainment purposes. But I think, I think it's the last week or two, he's not been beside Del Rio, and Del Rio's not felt the same. So I think eventually, I think they may split them up. But right now, especially when they don't know what they're doing with Del Rio properly, Ricardo's needed there.
I think Ricardo is one of those characters that will never really ever be taken seriously. So WWE don't really see the point in pushing him really all that much, while he's very essential to the Alberto Del Rio character, who they can actually get quite seriously behind. They probably feel. See, indeed. The Bearer of Gnomes. That's a great YouTube name. Why didn't we think of it? WWE Daniel 01. That was such a generic, shitty YouTube name.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I know. Who do you feel? Do you feel TNA would be better off with Mr. Nanny? I mean Hulk Hogan, both Bischoffs, and Sting. I'm guessing you mean without. Who really knows? We don't know the impact that Hulk Hogan has backstage. We don't know what salary Hulk Hogan is on. We don't know what how much of an influence Eric Bischoff is having, or positively or negatively, on the company. So we can't really answer that, really. I mean, who else is going to run the company if these guys aren't there?
Well, I'd add Mick Foley in that because he was there during that time. But I think Hogan is hot in the UK. Sting, you could say too. Bischoff, when he was on Raw, you know, he was entertaining to watch.
Garrett can fuck off.
Garrett, yes, but Eric. So you got some kind of good names here. If I had to pick one to keep, I'm leaning more towards Sting without the face paint.
Yeah, I think Sting would be a good one to keep around. Who in the hell finds Robbie E entertaining? If so, share why. I mean, why is this guy still employed?
Well, let me answer this first because
Go on.
you want to know why he's so entertaining.
Go on.
Well, you know, bro, when you put him into a tag team, bro, he's very entertaining to watch. He's great on the mic, bro. And, you know, me and Dan are like broskies, you know, we hang out, we do all this and that. No.
I mean, there's a reason why him and Jesse Goddess are called the Bromans, right? I mean, bro, you got to take this into account, bro. That Robbie E is just the bro of all the bros going around in Brollywood. Robbie E is, I don't know why Robbie E's employed. I really don't. I don't ever find him entertaining. I guess TNA sees something in this guy that we just do not.
You're fired!
I wish. Supermark money. Do you think WWE should unify the world titles in the near future or far future? I don't think so because they're touring both brands in separate places and they want to give a World Championship main event to each of those to try and draw fans to the event.
As much as it'd be hard to split up the two main championships which have great importance, if you was to somehow combine them or have only one for temporary reasons, I think it would stop repeated main event matches and stuff. It would maybe make the more contenders more interesting. So I think it's got its benefits, but like Dan said, because of the different touring stuff, not going to happen right now.
How do you believe the Shield will break up? Don't really know. I mean, I think one of them will go off on a singles ranks, like maybe Seth Rollins or something as a babyface, and go away from the show. I don't really know. I mean, I don't think they'll separate them out for quite some time. Just don't really know how they're going to go around doing this.
Well, at the minute, the WWE do have ideas for the Shield, like against the Wyatt family, possibly continuing growing with championships. Ambrose maybe going higher. But I think the way to do it is the Shield, either one of the Shield members will screw the other one accidentally, and then they'll start maybe feuding two of the Shield members against each other while one continues to grow.
CM Punk. CM Punk's always asking us questions here, and apparently he doesn't like my reviews. He loves yours reviews though, so he looks like CM Punk is a big NJ fan. He's not really a fan of Mr. Parkin. Sorry, CM Punk, I'm just telling it as it is. Which show do you like best? WWE Raw, SmackDown, or TNA Impact?
Again, they're all slipping up sadly. As much as the WWE have given me many years of great entertainment purposes, it's hard to say because they're all slipping up sadly.
Well, Raw I just don't care about anymore. SmackDown is okay. I mean, it's okay at best. TNA Impact, I think, is... I mean, like you said, they're all slipping up. Out of the three, I'd still have to say Impact. I just enjoy Impact more than WWE in general.
I'd say with the old slogan for the WWE, anything can happen. I think that's what I'm holding on to that with the WWE.
Anything can happen, but will John Cena ever put over anyone clean?
Yes.
There we go. Anything can happen in the WWE, guys. Mr. TNA 2005. NJ's reaction to Cena's redraft to Raw in 2000, and I believe it's 2010, was just like Schleg Daddy when Jeff Jarrett came after Slammiversary and said the feud is not over and him and Angle will have another match on TV. Dan, what has give you a reaction like NJ and Jeff, or what gave you? I remember what gave me that reaction. Remember when Santino beat Cody Rhodes in the Elimination Chamber in 2012 and I was really pissed off that that happened? I remember what happened. I remember when I walked out the room and refused to watch the rest of the match, even though really I should have seen that it was a good thing that Santino went through. That's kind of similar to that reaction to what... Do you remember that? Do you remember when I legitimately walked out the room and didn't watch the rest of the match?
I'm not going to give you that one. There was a TNA one you did, which was spot on, long-winded one.
Oh,
I can't remember what.
You mean the Impact after Bound for Glory when I went totally mental?
That one, yes. There we are.
You know what? That is actually a good one. That was a highlight of that year for me when I went mental after the Bound for Glory. The Bound for Glory post Impact. That was a good one. I totally forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. I really wanted to forget that one, NJ. If you had to sing a song saying what you feel about Cena, Hate, Triple H, ODB, Rock, Aries, Robbie E, Hornswoggle, what would it be? I'm guessing your song would be about John Cena, wouldn't it? Do you want to sing it? Can you think of anything to sing?
It would just be loads of swear words and yeah.
I think my song would probably be about ODB's boobs or something like that. Or something like that.
She has boobs?
Yeah.
I never noticed.
Hit me, baby, one more time. If you'd have a go at fishing with EY and Chavo, what bait would you take and how would that be? I'd just take Eric Young as bait and hopefully some piranha would eat him.
I would say I would use Chavo, you know. All right, come on, Chavo, bring in the jobbers.
Oh, he's giving the fish to Free Amigos.
That's pretty
And a
much
frog
it.
splash!
That's pretty much it, yes.
Mr. Trick 1, good old Sheldon. What do you think of Chris Hero, or aka Cassius Ohno? I mean, Cassius Ohno is, I wouldn't say he's a magnificent talent, but I think he's a good talent that will eventually be put on WWE TV, but probably will only be a mid-carder. That's how I feel about Chris Hero.
The WWE messed that up. They should have came in as a tag team for a period of time, then had Cesaro go up as he was, but Hero, I'm just interested in seeing, without his tag team now, unless that still happens, I'm just wondering how they're going to do it.
Is the Ryback run done? Can he be revived? I mean, he can be revived.
Sorry.
Feed me more. Feed me some apple, bitch. Is the Ryback... No, I think it can be revived. There's no doubt that it can be revived. It's just that his heel run is just stupid and it's going nowhere.
I'm not behind Ryback, and I really can't see what they can do to make me care for him.
Will anyone new be joining the Main Event Mafia? Well, you probably asked this before Rampage Jackson and Magnus came through. So we got Rampage Jackson and Magnus were two pretty good new additions to the Main Event Mafia. I didn't mind any one of those two. I thought they were both pretty good additions.
Yes, there's some people that may complain that the Main Event Mafia came back. They're doing it good this time. The choices are pretty strongly booked. If there was, let's say, we'll go with the question, there's another one. Maybe there's a slot for one more because of how much Ace and Eights members there are, but I don't know who it would be.
Nick Glenn, do you think in the future that it would be a good idea to give NXT another hour and have it be a 2-hour show? I love NXT, but the only negative thing about it is that it's only 1 hour and all their talent cannot be spotlighted in that one amount of time. One of the things I like about NXT is the fact that it's only an hour and the fact that you can spotlight certain talent on one show, certain talent on another show, and it means that it doesn't get repetitive. Like you see CM Punk on Raw, every edition of Raw. Well, you don't see all the main characters, apart from maybe the Wyatt family or possibly Bo Dallas, on every single edition of NXT, and it just variates it a little bit. It just gives you different characters every week.
I've said this before. If I was to do anything, is make the pre-show match NXT match.
Danny Allmark, do you think TNA will ever get rid of Hulk Hogan and Sting? Well, eventually they'll die, but they'll probably keep Hogan and Sting around for as long as they can, simply because of the amount of name power they bring to the company.
I don't think they need it at the same time like they have been for quite a while now, teasing a possible feud against each other, overpowering each other, being numerous times on the show. But I think the fact that their names and they've been in the wrestling company for a long time, TNA are going to continue to use them.
This next question, MJ. Do you think Daniel Bryan could take over the Cena role as a top babyface as he is so over? It's one thing you got to understand about WWE, people. Ain't no one going to be taking over John Cena's spot as the top babyface, no matter how over they get, no matter how much reaction they get, no matter how much merchandise they sell, no matter how much ratings they bring in. Daniel Bryan isn't really bringing in any ratings, but Daniel Bryan will never take over the John Cena role. He's not the typical main event guy that Vince McMahon would put all his faith in to be the top guy in the company. It just isn't going to happen.
If the WWE could give us a glimpse, if, as you've heard in the previous two Q&As, is if Cena actually puts Daniel Bryan over, which we've got no signs of it happening yet.
Goes back to our question, will John Cena ever put over anybody cleanly? Who knows? We're going to end the Q&A there. Please keep sending us your questions through the comment section below, through inboxing us, please, Facebooking or Twitter. It's all in the description box below. You don't need to hear me repeat myself about this once again. And that has been it from another Q&A from Mr. British Fist.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to leave this ending to MJ.
And you ladies out there,
do you spit or swallow?
And thank you very much, people, for Mr. Parkin and me, AJ. Thank you very much. And these questions have been great. This Q&A has been great. This shirt's been great. That shirt's been great. Goodbye.